Yesterday, I made a video talking about my honest thoughts and criticisms of the Diablo 4 beta. I wanted to expand on that a bit, because I did have a lot of fun with the beta, and I do see a lot of potential here, and that might have got a bit lost in the source. Sure, I don't love the UI, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world, and realistically, that's something they can improve upon before launch. But what's infinitely more important than the UI is the itemization. I do have some hesitations about becoming oversaturated with legendaries and them not being exciting anymore. Although it is possible that the drop rates could have been elevated just for the beta, I still think they're going to be raining from the sky. I'd prefer this to be different, but everything's still probably going to be okay. After all, we've still got higher tiers of items that start to drop on world tiers 3 and above. If they can nail these ultra rare items and have them feel really game changing when you equip them, then I think we might have a great game on our hands. And I'm optimistic that they might just get it right, because some of the legendary powers already feel really impactful. For example, casting Whirlwind with giant tornadoes shooting out of it felt amazing. Who would have thought? One of the common criticisms, and one that I also have myself, was the redundancies and lack of variability within the dungeons. Unfortunately, I doubt this is something that's going to improve before launch. There's simply not enough time. And despite agreeing with the criticism, this might not necessarily bother me too much. Let me explain why. In Diablo 2, I can happily kill the same boss thousands of times, with the only variation being the tiles that I teleport through to get there. Why? Because finding the items feels really good. If finding unique items in Diablo 4 feels comparable to how it does for me in Diablo 2, then I'll happily do the same dungeon over and over again. Call me a masochist or a dopamine junkie, but that's the heart of why I love this franchise. The grind. One of my other major criticisms was how the world scaling felt. Here's what I had to say about it. As you leveled, enemies just leveled with you. This drastically took away from the sense of progression, at least it does in the early game. It didn't really feel like you were gaining power from leveling, because how much stronger did you really get if virtually every enemy just got stronger with you? Funnily enough, I 100% agree with myself. The scaled leveling system didn't feel great in the beta, but once I'm max level, my thoughts on this scaling system could completely change. I could see myself really appreciating the scaling system in the endgame. Being able to go back to any area and it still be a viable place to farm, not too dissimilar to Terra Zones in Diablo 2. But just like Uniques, this is another one of those things which I won't know for sure how it feels until full release. I know that there's a lot of really strong opinions flying around, and I love that people feel so passionately about this franchise, but at the end of the day, if you're having fun with it and excited for D4's release, then that's all that matters. And if you hate it, then Diablo 2 will always be there.
Break the chains and discover who you were meant to be.